Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to LICD lecture number 34A. Today we are going to discuss Opamp non-idealities, journey from ideal to actual Opamp, and some practical Opamp parameters. So let us start. So far in this subject LICD, we have analyzed many linear and non-linear applications based on ideal Opamp. So let's revisit ideal Opamp. This is my ideal Opamp symbol where we have no current drawn at the input terminals. And if we see the equivalent circuit of ideal op-amp, at the input side we have the two input source, the two input terminals, that is V plus and V minus, that is non-inverting and inverting terminal. Are the input side we have a difference of the two input terminals, that is VID, differential input voltage, and it has very high input impedance. Input impedance is very high since it is open circuit over here, right? Open circuit represents infinite impedance. And at the output side, we have a voltage dependent voltage source. We have a open loop gain as AV, which is also called as AOL, which is infinite, multiplied by VID, which is your difference between the two input voltages. And we have V out. Here, if you see, there is no RO. So RO is connected, RO it's missing. So that means that is replaced by a short circuit. Short circuit means zero. So R out is having zero resistance. So that is the ideal op-amp equivalent circuit. Now the above circuit is set to be the above circuit in 1.1 is set to be ideal if it has the following characteristics. First of all, the open loop voltage gain AOL is infinite. Secondly, the input impedance Ri is infinite. Output impedance is zero. Bandwidth is infinite, and we have a zero offset. That is a V out is equal to zero when both the terminals input V plus and V minus is equal to zero. Now, it can be seen that an ideal op-amp, we will discuss now elaborately what does this mean. So it can be seen that ideal op-amp draws no current at both the input terminals. That is, I minus is equal to I plus is equal to zero. So that is what we observe over here. The op-amp input terminals draws no, absolutely no current almost. So second point is, because of infinite input impedance, any signal source can drive it and there is no loading on the preceding stage. This is why Ri is very high, practically also. Now, since gain, open loop gain is infinite, the differential input voltage VID equal to V plus minus V minus is essentially zero for a finite output voltage V out. Now, the output voltage V out is independent of the current drawn from the output as RO is equal to zero. The output thus can drive an infinite number of other devices. This is why R out is very low. That is, output impedance is very low. Now, bandwidth being infinite means that any signal frequency ranging from 0 Hz to infinite Hz can be amplified without attenuation. That means we can amplify with an ideal op-amp AC as well as DC signals. This is why bandwidth is very high. Now, the above properties, the ideal properties of the above properties of an ideal op-amp can never be realized in practice. However, the use of such ideal op-amp model simplifies the mathematics involved in the op-amp circuits. Because in realistic op-amps, in practical op-amps also, the values are quite close to ideal ones. So perhaps we can now turn our attention to practical op-amp and investigate how a practical op-amp differs from an ideal op-amp. We need to know where the ideal world ends and the real one begins. So let's begin our journey with a practical op-amp. So before that, let's look into the journey discussed so far in LICD. So first of all, we have discussed op-amp. We have adopted two roads. One road was to consider it like an ideal op-amp, just like a driving a car without knowing what's inside the car, how the car works from inside. We are just controlling the car using the external functions. We are exploring its features, right? We are learning to drive a car, fine, and it helps to explore applications. So we have discussed ideal op-amp. Based on ideal op-amp, various numerous linear and non-inverting applications. Some of them are uh, amplifier, open loop configuration, adder, ideal op-amp circuit analysis, subtractor, integrator, differentiator, instrumentation amplifier, current to voltage converter, voltage to current converter, and sample and hold amplifier. These are few linear applications of the op-amp which we have built on the analysis of ideal op-amp properties. Some of the non-ideal applications are as voltage comparator, Smith trigger, precision rectifier, monostable multivibrator, stable multivibrator, triangular and sawtooth waveform generator, RC phase shift and Wayne bridge oscillator. So these are some of the non-linear applications which we have discussed. So this was the road adopted so far. Now, road which was yet to be explored was, we will learn what's inside the op-amp, what are the practical op-amp parameters, what are the factors, practical op-amp factors which are affecting the performance of an op-amp. Just like we discussed in case of car analogy that we have learned so far how to drive a car. Now we will learn a little bit of how the car works, how the car engine mechanic works, what are the various electronics inside the car which will maximize the performance, right? We should know what's the mileage of the car and how does the engine work and what is the coolant, right? So these are the points we should also know, which will help us to maximize the performance of the car. In the similar manner, we will look into the peak inside the op-amp. Okay, so this is our journey ahead. Okay, fine. Now let us dive into, yeah. So let us complete our journey from ideal to actual op-amp. So this was an ideal op-amp equivalent circuit, and this is my equivalent circuit of a practical op-amp. As you can clearly see, there are two changes. In fact, there are three changes basically. Here, the Ri is present. Earlier, it was absent. Absent in the sense it was infinite. Now it is a finite. Ro, which was earlier equal to 0, now it has a finite value. Here it is a mistake. Here the AOL is not infinite. It's a finite value basically. Okay. So for a practical op-amp, the open loop gain is not infinite, Ri is not infinite, and Ro is not infinite. Okay. Here AV is sorry, V out is given by AOL times V plus minus V minus, where over here AOL into VID is the equivalent evidence voltage source. Ri is the input impedance of the op-amp. Ro is the output impedance of the op-amp. Now this is the same equivalent circuit of practical op-amp, but drawn in the sense of a why we have a symbolic form of a triangle for an op-amp. That's just signifying that. So here we have V plus as non-inverting input terminal, the V minus as inverting input. The difference between them is your VID. It is followed by a very high value of RI. Then we have a voltage dependent voltage source, that is AOL into VID, and we have a RO, right? A finite value of RO, which is that then connected to the output terminal. And we have connected the output, the power supply terminals V plus VCC and VEE, without which the op-amp will not work. So this is the more systematic, equivalent circuit for a practical op-amp. Now let's look into the some of the other features. These are some parameters of a practical op-amp IC741. If RO is equal to 0, Vout will be equal to AOL times VID. That means it is for the ideal op-amp. Now, if RO is not equal to 0, just as in case of a practical op-amp, output voltage is given by AOL times VID minus I0 into R0. Because here we see in a practical op-amp, the I plus and I minus are not 0. That means there is some finite current flowing into the op-amp terminals. Now also the I0 is also present. So your Vout will be AOL minus VID, AOL into VID minus I0 into RO. So for a practical op-amp, we have the output expressions given by this formula. Third point is, if Ri is infinite, we said conveniently, we have used many times that I minus is equal to I plus is equal to 0. That was ideal op-amp. But when input impedance Ri is not infinite, I plus is equal to I minus is not equal to 0. Okay, it's a very small number but not equal to 0. That is a practical op-amp. So what are the practical op-amp parameters? So some of the practical op-amp parameters are AOL is ideal op-amp, it is infinite, and for IC741 it is around 10 is to 5 or 2 into 10 is to 5. RI, the input impedance was infinite for ideal op-amp. For IC741 it is 2 mega ohm. R out was 0 for ideal op-amp. It's 75, which is very, very small uh, for 741. As you can see, 2 mega ohms and 75 are very close to very high value and very close to very low value. So for a good op-amp, for a good quality op-amp, RI should be very, very high and RO should be very low. Now, what's inside op-amp? Earlier, we have used the analogy of a car to explain ideal op-amp, like driving a car without knowing how the car operates internally without looking under the hood. Now it's time to look under the hood of a car and know some basic understanding about its internals. So let's really see what's make up IC741 from inside. Okay, let me adjust this screen. Okay, fine. Let me make it 20%. Yeah. So this symbolic form of op-amp which we have drawn inside, it's an integrated circuit. And whatever you see in front of you, it's what really is making an op-amp. Internally, it has a lot of transistors, lot of resistors, and a single capacitor. Okay. So yeah, these are the various pins. This is pin number 1, pin number 5, where we have offset adjust. Pin number 3 and 2 are my two input terminals, and your pin number 7 and pin number 4 VCC and VEE, and pin number 6, which is the output. If you see, we have skipped the entire internal working of an op-amp. Rather than that, we have concentrated on if external components are connected to this op-amp, how it will operate. So this is looking like this is like peeking into the hood. Okay, looking under the hood. So basically, this is what an op-amp is made up of internally. Okay, still we are going into very little details about the actual circuit working. We will look into some of the functionalities of it, but not into details. Obviously, in this course, studying how this entire internal circuit works is not the not the the focus. The focus is to using this op amp and little bit know about what are the internal and practical parameters of it. I hope that this will give us a clear understanding for the very first time. We are actually looking into the internals of a 741 op-amp circuit, IC integrated circuit. Okay, so this is it for this lecture. Next time we'll look into the many of the definitions which are there in the data sheet of an op-amp. So until then, have a good day and thank you.